68 degrees. It's 7:17. The city of Long Beach has extended its curfew for a third day as protests over police brutality and the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis continued across Southern California. The curfew went into effect about an hour ago. It'll last through 6 a.m. tomorrow. But after the weekend of looting and criminal activities, communities are on edge and businesses are distraught. Joining us now live is Long Beach City Councilwoman Stacey Mungo. Councilwoman, it's been 2 days now since we all sat in shock and horror watching our TVs, listening to the radio about the destruction that was going on in your city. What has been happening since then? I know there's been a lot of cleanup, a lot of people of the community coming together. A really inspiring scene there.
Yes. On Sunday, our number one priority was the safety of the people, our residents, our visitors, the demonstrators, and our first responders. But the next morning when we woke up, we were really focused on rebuilding. Thousands came out in all over the city, uptown, downtown, East Long Beach, Central Long Beach. We provided materials to board up shops, to paint over graffiti, bags and things to pick up all the glass on the street. And then we worked really hard to make sure that immediately we were reaching out to our business community. The IRS shows that we have 43,000 businesses in our city. So far, we have heard we were very lucky to limit the damage and vandalism and looting to about 170 businesses. And so we've worked with those 170 businesses. We've set up an economic development support line where they can call in. We've given them all the information we need to get from them to file online police reports. And we're really starting with the rebuild to make sure those businesses can open immediately. And then also, we're really sharing the lessons learned. We were very fortunate to limit the vandalism and looting to just a few-hour period. And not all cities have been that fortunate. So we're lucky to be able to share some lessons learned and some things we could have done better. And as you've seen over the last few days, a lot of cities have been able to get a tight handle on some of these looters and put a lot of them in jail.
I've heard some of the chatter. Certainly you've heard some of it as well, that, why wasn't Long Beach police on this more? Could they have done more to prevent more of this?
So with a city as large as ours, we're 52 square miles. That's a lot bigger than some of the other cities that we're seeing. And we did have a lot of officers on that night. But as you may know, police need to ensure the safety of the people as a first priority. And that's the residents and the visitors, but also our officers. We don't want to start peeling off officers in smaller numbers and risk officer safety and then the safety of the residents and the protesters. So we had a good strategy. But when streets are blocked and things like that, it's hard for us to move people around quickly. And looters are much more quick than police officers wearing 70 pounds of gear. So we've had some lessons learned, and we've done a lot better. And I think that all of us need to continue to learn. Times have definitely changed. The ability for individuals who have unscrupulous intentions to communicate with each other and to coordinate and put out spotters for our police is different than it used to be 5-10 years ago. And so we are doing the best we can with the resources we have available. But moving those resources quickly was more challenging in day one. But just within a few hours, we were able to clamp that down. And we were able to limit the more than 100 fires set across our city to one major structure incident. And we're really thankful to our first responders who continue to put their life in danger. A lot of things you didn't see on TV were individuals throwing rocks and bricks at our first responders. And so we need to make sure that officer safety is a priority so that those officers can continue to protect the public.
Councilwoman, shops can rebuild, businesses can recover from things like this, but it's going to be a difficult, long road. What can they seek from the city as far as assistance?
So we're really working on that right away. We have a Kiva loan program where you can go online, and I've done this before. You take some of your personal money and you loan it to businesses who need help and support. It's a zero-based loan. I don't make any interest on it, and the business doesn't have to pay any interest. If you go on the Kiva loan site today and you search Long Beach, as I did, as of maybe 11 o'clock this morning, every single loan had been funded. And I hope that throughout the days ahead, as we work with these businesses, even more of them will come online. And this will be available to them not only if they were a victim of looting and vandalism during the mayhem the other night, but also because of COVID and other things. So our city has really done an excellent job in supporting businesses, and we can't do it alone. We do it with a lot of business associations. We have the downtown, the DLBA, which is our downtown group. We have our Uptown Business Association. We have our Second Street Business Association. We have our Spring Street Corridor Association. And these groups get to bring their ideas and needs to the table. And then we as a city get to give them what they tell us they need, not what we think they need.
Long Beach Councilwoman Stacey Mungo. Councilwoman, thanks so much for joining us.